There's a joy that comes up in waking up, like one morning, realizing against all odds that everything is truly okay, even after years spent searching for answers and wrestling with what felt like it was impossible to bear. The old doubts, the old sorrows, all the wondering, why did this happen to me? Well, all these things can lose their grip. But what makes the realization so profound is knowing the value of that peace that could never have arrived without the heartbreak, without the aching, without the embodied preparation of the journey itself. The body is not just a witness to pain, it's the altar where wisdom and acceptance can ultimately take root. I'm Mark Roach, and this is Transcendent. Think for a moment about the life and teachings of Malidoma Patrice Somé, the author of The Healing Wisdom of Africa. Somé's story reads like a myth. Born in remote West African village, he was taken from his family at the age of 4 by French colonial missionaries, the Catholic Church, and they forced him to abandon his roots for the strange world of Western education. He bore scars from the missionary schools, not just in his body, but in the sense of identity. Cut adrift between two worlds, speaking neither his native language nor fully belonging to the world that shaped him. The rupture in his story was not a metaphorical figure. I mean, it was real. A cultural violence interrupted only by the prophetic insistence of his own elders that he was meant to bring the gifts of his people to the West. His journey back home demanded a hard initiation, physically grueling, emotionally raw, sitting in the relentless or in the sun, facing the wild country, unable even to speak with parents that he barely remembered. Yet in surrendering to ordeal, in letting grief and fatigue work through his body, Somé found not just survival, but grace. A beautiful reconciliation between worlds, a radical healing that made him whole enough to carry wisdom forward. Now, in chapter 8 of his book, he asks us to interpret our own shocks through a similar lens. Some are deliberate, some are embedded in ritual and tradition. Now others are thrust upon us by chaos, by injustice, by the mysterious hands of God, or by the loss that defines and sometimes defies our stories of causality here in the United States, in the Western world. Sometimes suffering feels earned. Sometimes it does not. Still, the indigenous wisdom that Somé shares reveals that whether the storm is chosen or random, the body must be readied. The value at the end of the ordeal is discovered only through the honest experience of pain, rage, surrender, and when the time is right, tears. Healing is not an idea, it's a movement. It's a movement through community, through ritual, through spirit. Without those resources, without the physical and the emotional passage, the mind's relentless searching never finds its answers. Somé describes initiation as a 3-stage process: shock, chaos, and closure. The closure, too, is not a solitary event, but a communal act. The person who returns from the edge, whether by deliberate challenge or the unkind fate, comes back with scars, yes, but also with a new capacity for joy and belonging. Those who emerge transformed embody a deeper peace, not because the pain made sense in their mind, but because it was honored and allowed to work through to become wisdom. The communal rituals, the shared ceremonies serve to witness the struggle and restore the purpose in the person. A purpose that set the Dagara, or that the Dagara tribe say was born in spirit, authorized by ancestors, and rooted again in the healing movement of body and heart. And so, this chapter that Somé writes closes with this gentle truth. Whatever arrives, deserved or undeserved, explainable or terrifying, it is okay. The wholeness is not the absence of pain, but the flowering of fullness after pain has been honored. Wisdom comes not through logic alone, but through the deep embodied preparation of grief, ritual, and collective care. It is the legacy of Malidoma Patrice Somé's journey, and it is every person's birthright. I'm Mark Roach. This is Transcendent, wishing you all the best. The body's honest passage through the wound is what teaches us that even the inexplicable can become home.